What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Happy MLB The Show 24 cover reveal week. Depending on when you're listening to this, we are roughly 24 hours away from learning who will be on the base edition cover of the game. And we'll have content this week all over the channel, all about the cover news. I cannot wait. But until that point, you guys have today's video. It is 10 Minute Mailbag like we do every single Monday on this channel. I take your YouTube questions or comments or concerns or complaints or whatever, and we turn it into a video. We have a good time. If you guys are new here, don't feel intimidated. We're a very welcoming bunch. Feel free to leave your question down below, and if I think it's cool, I'll answer it. If not, I'll still read it, at least. As always, make sure you like this video, subscribe. That's the most important thing you can do. As MLB The Show 24 nears and the news continues to pile up, we'll be doing videos on everything worth doing a video on. This will be your #1 source for news and recaps and opinions and analysis and all that stuff. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about your questions, so let's get on to them. Hey everybody, just wanted to take a quick second to update you all on the 2,000 YouTube subscriber giveaway that I promised we'd be doing. Here I am, and here it is. On Friday, February 2nd, that is this upcoming Friday, I am giving away one 2023 Bowman Chrome Mega Box. Go chase that Jackson Holliday, the #1 prospect in all of baseball. You can find all the information you need over on Twitter, but basically all you have to do is retweet and tag a friend, follow me on Twitter, and you get a bonus entry if you're already subscribed on YouTube. I'll also put the link to that Twitter post right in the description, so you don't have to look very far to find it. The past year has been nothing short of incredible. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all, and best of luck. All right, 10 minutes on the clock like we always do. We're going to answer as many questions as humanly possible in that time and show some examples on the screen in front of you. It's going to be great. So in 3, 2, 1, begin. Our first question today comes from Patient Zero. Do you watch the pitch out of the hand or just focus on the release spot? So, neither. There are a lot of ways to hit. There are a lot of ways to go about hitting. We're in custom practice right now just so we can kind of show and tell. Some people do what's called tempo hitting, which truthfully I don't really understand or have, like maybe I do it, maybe I don't even know what it is. Some people, like you say, watch the pitch out of the hand. They start the PCI where the release point is, and they follow. Some people just focus on a single location. That's what I do. I focus, let's just say, low and away, and if my pitch is low and away, that was pretty good. I couldn't have replicated that if I tried. If the pitch is low and away, you hammer it. If you sit low and away and the pitch ain't low and away, we don't swing at it, and it's a ball. To me, I am not excellent with my PCI. I know my weaknesses. My timing is pretty good. My pitch recognition is okay. My PCI is rough. It's very inconsistent. So for me to maximize my ability to hit and minimize error, I think sitting location is best because it's less moving I have to do. Instead of moving from bottom left to top right, I could have hit that, I stay bottom left and I just move within this tiny quadrant as opposed to all over the zone. Now, of course, that changes when there are 2 strikes. I'm a fucking wizard right now. Look at me go on Legend. That changes with 2 strikes. Of course, you gotta fight if there are 2 strikes. Like I'll start down here and I'll have to fight. I'll have to move around. That was another good PCI, by the way. But for me, I just find it best to sit location. Now, how do I decide what location I'm sitting on? Well, a couple factors. Depends on my pitcher's tendencies, my opponent. If my opponent's throwing a lot of pitches low and away to lefties, I'm sitting there. Boom. If my opponent's sitting really inside the lefties a lot, maybe I'm gonna cheat and I'll see if I can turn and burn on something. Not there. You know, it all depends on what you're good at, what you're bad at. Are you trying to mask your weaknesses? Are you trying to enhance your strengths? Are you trying to capitalize on your opponent's shortcomings and tendencies or whatever? People who watch the pitch out of the hand have supreme PCI control that I don't have. Did I hit that out or am I foul? Is that a foul ball? We're going to wait and see. It's a foul ball. I'm hitting pretty well. I don't have that PCI control. It's tough for me. I am more of like a reactive hitter as opposed to a skill-based one. Like, I don't know if really that's the right way to say it, but I'm not good at following and patience and this and that. I like to sit in my spot. When it's there, I hammer it. Will there be at-bats? Will there be innings sometimes where I don't get a single pitch in the location I'm sitting on? Of course there will be. But for me, that's just what works best. So Patient Zero, thank you so much for your question. I hope that helps. I don't know if it did. Please tell me if you'd like any more clarity. Next question comes from CJ. What kind of TV or monitor do you use? If you play at 120 FPS, can you talk about the difference / improvements you made when you initially switched? I play on a monitor. I play on an Asus. I think it's pronounced Asus. Might be Asus. I don't know. ASUS. 27-inch monitor. 1 millisecond response time, in my opinion, is the most important thing. It is 120 FPS. So, we're just going to continue doing custom practice while I'm here talking. During the pandemic, when I first started taking all of the content and gameplay really seriously, because I had nothing else to do with my life, I was playing on like a 55-inch flat screen TV in my living room, sitting on my couch about 12 feet away from the screen, ballpark, 10, 12 feet. And at that point, I was basically, this is not exaggeration, like you can go look at my all-time lifetime records. I was roughly like a career 500 player in ranked seasons. I'd go like 230 and 212 on a season, or on a game cycle. And I was bad, like really bad. I hit batting averages in like the low 200s. Pitching was fine because pitching's pitching when it comes to TV versus monitor, but hitting, I didn't even realize it was difficult. Like, I just thought that's how it was. I didn't realize people played MLB The Show on monitors until I started taking it really seriously, and I watched Twitch streams, and this, I learned. So right towards, like, the middle to end of COVID, I set up a desk setup similar to what I have now in my old apartment. Smaller, but similar. And I got a monitor, and the first ranked season with a monitor, I made World Series for the first time in my life. I never sniffed past like 500 or 600 all-star difficulty on a TV. And immediately, everything changed. Everything. And literally, it sounds so hyperbolic, but it's not. Literally everything changed. The monitor is a night and day difference. If you can afford a monitor, first of all, there are a lot of budget options. You don't have to spend $1,000 on this monitor that I'm using was like $200. Amazon is always running sales. Target always has sales. Walmart has sales. Best Buy has sales. You can spend $150 on a monitor, as long as it's 1 millisecond response time, you're already making a significant, noticeable improvement. You don't have to have the craziest setup ever. Obviously, I make content, so I have some stuff that other people don't need or won't have. But get a monitor, sit 1.5 to 2 feet away from it. We don't want your eyes to bleed. Don't sit like this, but like a reasonable distance away. And I promise you, your game will improve. Without question, you will see significantly better results. And then you start to learn more of your preferences. You really learn what hitting view works for you, or what pitching view works for you, or what swings work for you. When you play on a TV, just about every swing feels laggy. Because that's just how it is. Plus, when you're playing on a TV, in all likelihood, you're using your controller over Bluetooth connection. Plug that shit in. It removes so much of the input delay. Getting a monitor is the first step to seriously improving at this game. And not everybody needs to take this game seriously. I promise you that. You guys know that. Not everybody needs to be a sweaty tryhard, but getting a monitor doesn't make you a sweaty tryhard. If you enjoy winning and winning is fun for you, get a monitor. So CJ, thank you for your question. I hope it helped. Our last question today most likely comes from Monster Mushhead. Or Mushhead. Mush or Mush? How do you guys pronounce it? Do you have any tips getting set 1 cards for Chipper? I'm grinding March to October for Team Affinity, and it is a grind. Let's look really quickly, because unfortunately at this point, getting set 1 cards is going to be kind of, not difficult, but there are some you can't get anymore, and that is going to make your climb to Chipper Jones a little more difficult. So we're going into that's set 5, we're going into set 1. Unfortunately, your ability to acquire a lot of these World Baseball Classic cards, not all of them, but a lot of them, is gone. So I hope you have the ones you want. Otherwise, you're cutting your ability by like 10 or 15% probably with how many World Baseball Classic cards there were. Now, I don't know what point in the collections you're at. I don't know if you're at the first pack, the second pack, the third pack. The third pack might be close to impossible. That I cannot confirm because I'm not going to sit here and count every single card. March to October, if you are a casual player of the game, which I do not mean as a derogatory term, but if you are a casual player of the game, March to October is probably, unfortunately, your best method of getting XP and progressing through what you need to progress. Is it boring? Probably. Is it repetitive? Of course. Time-consuming? Yes. It might be your best path if you are a casual player. Again, not a derogatory phrase. Just is what it is. If you are a halfway competitive player, I suggest you play events or BR. Because you can get a lot more stubs there than you can through the XP path in March to October. Because in the end, it's about the stubs, right? Because with the stubs, you can purchase guys like... Well, I keep clicking on program cards. You can purchase guys like Anthony Santander, whom you might not have, for $39,000. That's not that bad, honestly. You know, you can fill out a lot of what you don't have, depending on what it is, of course, just by getting stubs. $49,000. Of course, you're going to do Team Affinity like you said. That is going to take some time. But also just gameplay XP. It's double XP forever. So just playing online is going to get you more XP than playing offline. That's how I would tackle it. I also, mini seasons, honestly, another slog of a mode to get through, but that awards a lot of good stuff if you're doing it for a specific purpose. I don't like playing offline. That's why I will always pivot my suggestions to online. Depends what type of player you are and how you approach the game. It depends on what your end goal of the video game is. Are you playing it to be competitive, or are you playing it just to have fun? If you're playing it just to have fun, March to October, mini seasons, that will hopefully get you the XP and stubs necessary to eventually get to Chipper. It's going to be tougher, like I said, because if you don't have the World Baseball Classic cards, they're now kind of gone, sort of, or at least behind a paywall. But I wish you luck. I hope you can get Chipper soon and have fun hitting tanks before the new game comes out. Hey everyone, sorry to interrupt this absolutely incredible video that you're watching, but I have something very exciting to tell you, and it is that we have new merch available. It's been a little while since I've hyped up the merch, but like I said, I'm super excited about this. It shows off the new logo, some new designs, some new things that you guys might not have thought you would have wanted. So let's go look at it. As you can see here on my merch store, we have a discount running. If you use code KDJ10 now through the end of February, you're getting 10% off your entire order. So now is the best time to stock up on some new gear. We've got t-shirts, stickers for sticking on things, hoodies for if you live in chilly places and want to keep your nipples all sorts of warm, notebooks if you enjoy writing things down. Of course, we still have the classic The Show the Podcast t-shirts. And lastly, my favorite piece of new merch, it is the embroidered firewood hoodie. This is stitched on. It is a piece of my logo that doesn't include kdjTV. It's just the bolt. It's just the bat. It looks crazy good. And it also appears on the left wrist. Come on now. So like I said, KDJ10 gets you 10% off now through the end of February, and the link to my merch store is always in the description. If you buy something, let me know. I'll blow you a kiss. Another week, another 10-minute mailbag in the books. The final one. Not the final one, ever, but the final one before MLB The Show 24 news. So I'm hoping that next week's video we can talk more about MLB The Show 24. What do I think about the cover, etc., etc., etc. I am so excited. Thank you guys for making it to the end. Like and subscribe before you go. Comment down below anything you want to talk about in next week's video, and I'll see you there. Have a good week.